When I originally when I originally sketched the stuff I sketched, it was based upon things that some acknowledgement of racing games that I played via the PlayStation back during the course of 2017 when it originally released up until 2018 when they gave content and stuff, and these were just general sense of coping with stuff is by definition of something that you can do that you excel at, and people will scoff and laugh and say you didn't sketch anything, and why do you look dark complected, light complected, in some sorts of something that occurred again when it wasn't like that, when it just was like how one can put yourself out there and it just express concerned when they should give you resources that full on won't have you go to something that they just scoff at you and tell you a bunch of shit. Like, I know it's not healthy for a person to go through something when their hand was discolorment and then them saving you to where they act like I did something wrong when I haven't really full on told them anything and I hadn't really expressed my thoughts or anything concerns. I gave good feedback. So if it looks like I may have let them get away with something that in turn you can't really film in the doctor's office, but you know that I was critically in pain during that time frame of being at a place where they didn't value you and set place where it seemed like you would spend money that we had thinking that you was a no good bum when the money that I would get internally was used for payments of being in a place where that for whatever reason they made you out to seem like you couldn't do anything in terms of like legal matter, but if something does occur they can go back and probably sue them all in terms of just them against your word, and you uploaded what you had in terms of being at a place where it was basically not as healthy as one would it seem. The carpet had seemed fine, but like the shower and turned the bathroom where I filmed him getting a haircut with my cousin, they would have leaks and mold area in terms of the ceiling, and it wasn't at the house, but it was at the apartment that I was at for 2 years, and people didn't realize what you had gone through was sort of like not right in terms of going to the doctors and getting saved and them saying that you cried to them when it wasn't really the case. I wasn't crying to them, but it was something that general just I was at a distraught, like I wasn't in tears, but it figured it wasn't right in terms of everything that went wrong was from being at a place where it seems like they always don't value you in terms of having to go through something that shouldn't have it could have been avoided if we had never moved by the neighbors being assholes and telling you a bunch of shit when it's just something that shouldn't have happened and it shouldn't have listened to anyone because it is driving you out of your home in terms of where you was at. And they had many other people that the guy did that to that I don't want to name, but it was mentioned when I had uploaded the police video. I had gone through police brutality back in 2012, and I fully never recovered from that stuff in terms of injuries that I withstand and never was able to press charges against those folks who did that. And the reason why I got a hold of Andrew because at the time he could get uh, dash cam video and his side with me walking through back in 2015 when I originally uploaded on YouTube and made the channel. That was from my point of view of going through something that didn't seem fair, and word of mouth spread that they act like I was retarded. But if I was so retarded, I wouldn't know how to sketch really well. And I know that it's not really edited in terms of how I go forth with the videos that are only a couple of minutes long in terms of going through something that I had should have been able to sue those people because they kept changing their story and they can't wait until your parents die to fully disclose you on being sort of like in an unwanted, like, sort of like situation that has me worried about stuff, but figuring it's only one sided and they should have the authority to do something to you once your parents pass.